gonna go with Martika. What about Samantha Fox? I vote for Samantha Fox, #1.
Okay, why?
Remember her? Oh, she was hot. What about Van Morrison? He probably never even gets on there because he was fat and Irish. I'm sick and tired of people being against Van Morrison because he's fat and Irish. He's brilliant.
We are counting down the 100 greatest artists ever, and this next group started in Chicago in the late 60s as the Salty Peppers. Founder Maurice White later named the band after 3 elements in his astrological charts. Here are Earth, Wind, and Fire.
It's not a list without Earth, Wind, and Fire.
My favorite group was Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Do you remember when it was night?
Earth, Wind, and Fire was just an experience. They definitely had some funky grooves that was hot.
The music was powerful. It was a big production.
They've got like a sound that takes me back to a day where everything was just carefree.
Earth, Wind, and Fire, to me, was just like a super band. Their music is just phenomenal.
Maurice White, amazing producer and songwriter. Just the whole thing, they were very musical.
Maurice always wanted the band to could play all styles of music. We brought intricate rhythms, intricate horn lines, crazy melodics.
And Philip Bailey, come on. Who can sing like Philip Bailey?
Maybe it was some tight-ass pants.
Let the party begin.
How many people were in the band? Approximately 3 core members, and then about 80 on stage.
Midnight creeps so slowly.
Yeah, there was a lot of us. You know, times were different. The economy was different at that time.
They were one of the most soulful groups of the late 70s and early 80s. And they were like the soundtrack of my existence. Steely Dan was Donald Fagen and Walter Becker, with some random studio musicians. They're weirdos, but they're geniuses.
2 guys named themselves after a robotic machine in a trippy William Burroughs novel who make weird songs. What is Reeling in the Years really about?
Young
people don't get Steely Dan. It takes a while to kind of take a fine wine. Yeah, or some kind of weird sushi that you would never eat when you're a kid.
We hear you're leaving, that's okay.
Steely Dan was influenced by jazz, old-time R&B, pretty much everything besides rock and roll. And they put a lot of focus on studio production as opposed to live performances.
Ricky, don't lose that number. You don't want to call nobody out.
After a long period of not making records together, when they come back together in the last 10 years, man, genius.
Seen your picture.
Steely Dan, when you hear them, you know it's them, you know. They don't sound like anybody else.
Sebastian Bach loves Steely Dan. Here's the reason. If I'm scrolling through the iPod and I'm on a 7-hour plane flight, I'm going to pick something that sounds excellent, and Steely Dan sounds excellent.
We are getting close to our last artist of the hour, but keep in mind there are 80 more after that.
Dancing Queen, to me, is one of the great human accomplishments of all time.
Oh yes, we are counting down the 100 greatest artists ever here at the John Barbados store on New York's Bowery, former site of CBGB's. Moment of silence. Time for our last artist of the hour, ABBA. They reportedly turned down $1 billion to reunite, but when you've sold as many records as they have, you don't really need the cash.
Where are those happy days? They seem
Swedish. They're beautiful. They're wearing bell bottoms. That's ABBA.
I'm not afraid to say it. I love ABBA. What?
You know, I love the influence that they had on the music industry. I love how, like, classic pop songs they were, and people just fell in love with them.
If you don't like them, you're legally dead.
The production's amazing on those records. The songwriting's insane. The girls didn't get hit with an ugly stick, let's put it that way.
Well, Agnetha was a focus for a lot of teenage boys, erotic fantasies. And I remember I had these feelings that I'd never had before. She was just the most incredibly beautiful thing.
The Dancing Queen, to me, is one of the great human accomplishments of all time. It's just pure, pure beauty.
Unfortunately, all that died out when their marriages both dissolved, and that was sort of the end of ABBA.
ABBA has sold over 400 million records. That's a lot. That's really incredible.
Mamma mia, does it show again? Mama, just how much I missed you.
I think ABBA's music is going to be here for a very long time, as they've proven through the Mamma Mia musical, and then, of course, the hit movie as well. And now they're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's not going to stop.
I feel like their music really does bring joy to people.
And there you go, the first 20 artists on our 100 Greatest Artists of All Time countdown. We still have 80 more to go, although my favorite artist has already been listed. Sorry, Beastie Boys. Once again, over 200 musicians cast ballads, including members of Duran Duran, Rush, and Metallica. You guys, you need to stick around to see how they voted. Thank you for watching. My name is Jim Shear, and I will see yins later.